What? This is as bad as it sounds?
If you can't tell by the thumbnail, this episode, it's not even an episode. It is something Rich, you know him as Angry Cops, brought to light. And it is something that even now I'm at a loss of words to how to even explain it. I will say viewer discretion is advised.
People are spamming on Reddit during my vacation?
I truly believe everyone should see this message. And I know this community. We know this community.
Yeah, look at the likes and dislikes.
We know you guys will help make this right and make a difference. And really quick, so much love for Rich and what
this
he
is
doing
pretty serious.
and the purpose of this.
Holy shit.
All the AdSense and money that this video generates is going to be donated to the Buffalo, New York Family Justice Center. And the other reason it is running is because in order to reach as many people as possible, this is how you have to do it. Otherwise, it gets restricted. And we didn't want that for this message. Angry Cops, Rich, we will support you till the end of times with this. And I know all of you will do the same. We here, you all, we defend those who might need a little help or who don't have a voice. So again, viewer discretion is advised.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Unsubscribed Podcast. Rich has something important to say and we would like for you all to hear it.
What the?
You ready to get sued?
Yeah.
No?
Let's go.
All right, so this is,
Damn, that's a lot of cups.
this is real.
The right heroes
this
can
can
make
affect
all
my
the
life, but it's
difference.
at the moment where it's one of those things where you gotta do the right thing or not. And, I didn't want to ruin the actual podcast with it. I wanted to wait till later on just in case. So, here's the deal. I've been in SVU in the Buffalo Police Department for 2 years, and there was a space in between where I left SVU, the Special Victims Unit, and I went to two other. I got promoted to lieutenant, and then went to the FBI and assisted with that, and I'm back in.
Anyone
SVU.
stands
But during
in my
those 2 years,
way,
even
they
before
will.
then, there has been an issue where
Got a problem,
Buffalo's
bub?
school
Talk
system,
to the
specifically their
claws.
legal representatives in the city, like the city attorneys that specifically work for Buffalo Public Schools, right? So I'm not sure if that's the city of Buffalo buying these as attorneys and having them protect them, or if it's like
What do they call you back where you
the
come from,
schools,
Don?
like lawyers for the schools as their own thing. But either way, long story short,
I like your
the Buffalo
style.
school system
Glad you
has
found
been
your way to Krakoa.
intentionally not reporting
The battle
the
starts in
sexual
5,
assaults of students,
4,
between
3,
students,
2,
and then has
1.
also used
You have to stop them from securing
the
the mission
Buffalo
area.
Police Department's school resource
Got eyes on
officers
some bogeys.
to write reports that had their influence over those officers to then close the reports. And that's the story I'll get into.
So soft pitch, why are they?
I don't know. My best estimate is that they're afraid
They don't want to get fired.
don't want the numbers to show that there are these police investigations occurring at their schools or assaults occurring at their schools because it would
What the
affect
fuck?
funding something.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is fucking
Coming
stupid.
at you.
If a crime happens at a school, it doesn't mean that funding is then stopped or prevented from going to that school. Oftentimes, if there's a problem, people will pour money into that problem fixed. And I'm gonna give you an
No,
example.
the reason why, it's probably because they know that they are somehow letting this happen. Like, they know that they bear some level of accountability and responsibility for it, so that's why they're ignoring it.
Fully
This is a real
regenerated.
example.
You're afraid of bad
There's a
press?
school that's
Exactly.
attached to the Buffalo Science.
Coming at you.
That school that's attached to the Buffalo Science Museum has doors that can go from the Science Museum into the school. Those doors are not locked. Individuals can get into them, right? Strangers, they can, right?
Okay.
And that happened. So a stranger went into the school, it's a very low school, and this person
It's a very low school.
I am ready to put on a show.
It's not like high school, it's like an 8-year-old.
yeah. So kids under the age.
Jesus.
So goes into the school and grabs a young female child and a male child. And I'm gonna parcel this story out
What
of
the
the way that
fuck?
the information came in.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Bro, what the?
At first, the information that came in was that there was one female child that was, it was an attempted abduction.
Goodbye. For now.
There was no report about the second child. Kind of a big deal. The second child, the boy, had pissed himself.
Ready to help.
And when his parents came,
Yeah, I bet.
Sorry, I'm getting fucked up. When his parents came to pick him up,
Have we done it?
yeah, sorry.
You were under my spell. Rest
Born again!
This time I need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
When his parents came to pick him up, the school did not disclose to the parents that the kid was part of an attempted abduction. So, why did my kid continue to school? The teachers and people in charge did not tell them that there was an attempted abduction. The school then deleted the video of the attempted abduction. Then the district attorney's office, excuse me, and the district attorney's office only got it because somebody within the school had the wherewithal to
Color
record
me
it
impressed, Warlock.
and then give it to them.
That's good. A disappearance.
What?
Shield
They're
up.
hiding something?
My favorite time!
And also, this little tears. No, you have to understand that, like, a lot of guys, like, this guy worked in a special victims unit. So, this is like what I assume. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But, like, whenever he's telling these stories, he's probably thinking about, like, 10 other stories that are, like, 100 times worse that he had to deal with. And, like, that's probably what, it's like kind of like a PTSD type thing, right? It's a good trigger. Yeah. Because, like, I don't think people understand, like, how much, like, dealing with this kind of stuff, especially it's like the, you know, the two cases that did this long enough for the case back into, like, that kind of thing, like, how that is basically like this. Yeah, it really fucks you up a lot. You said
The
13
district
years
attorney's
or
office
something like that,
has
8 years.
sent subpoenas, so like court-ordered
My
documents from
fate isn't
judges that are
sealed
signed.
yet.
Which, by the way, I mean, deleting evidence of a crime like that is, like, absolutely illegal. It's not even a
Goodbye.
question,
For now.
right? It's really not.
Someone
The
prayed
school's
for a
legal
goddess.
representatives,
We got
and
trouble.
those representatives have intentionally not responded to them. Now, here's the weird
Major
thing,
felony?
which is like this is the biggest issue right here. That's specifically on Summit. 70 over the emotional.
Stop them!
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
With this entire story, well, one of the issues is that when
My work here is
subpoenaed,
not goodbye.
these legal representatives for the Buffalo School Department
That is
are ignoring the subpoenas and not just
Does Donald know about this?
Yeah!
Someone needs to send this to Donald.
Now might be the time to stop. I am ready
Like,
to
this
put
is
on a
crazy.
show.
He should, yeah. So, like, somebody needs to fucking know about this. This is crazy.
not responding to them, but being
Call 'em?
obstructionists.
I'll text him. It's
and
okay.
actually giving information to school administrators and school personnel to not talk to the police or assist the police in any way.
Whoa,
In fact,
wait a minute.
obstructionists and actually responding to them, but being obstructionists and actually giving information to
You're not
school
going anywhere.
administrators and school personnel to not talk to the police or assist the police.
So,
Nothing
to
can harm
actively
me now.
obstruct a police investigation into a child abduction. And this is being done by a school.
Born again!
You're not going anywhere.
The school district claims these are untruths on Twitter. Yeah, for sure.
Obstruct us. Intentionally do not do these things. Here's how you prevent the police. So, and here's where like the trucks is coming in kind of a whistle mark. There are people that are trying to get this information from the
Feeling
schools
stronger
and then
Well,
make
like, wouldn't it be easy to tell? Because, so, like, if a school has security cameras, and the security camera footage during the time of this abduction just doesn't exist, but there's a secondary footage of it that wasn't recorded by the school security system, wouldn't that prove effectively that they deleted it? Like, I mean, I feel like, how do you even deny that?
being obstructing to start these lawyers who, once again, I said, are ignoring subpoenas and court orders. And the only way that you can overcome that is that somebody from the court system, judge, the Attorney General of the United States, comes down and says, why are you not responding to these court orders?
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Yeah.
And in this specific case, you know, like destruction of evidence.
That's just kind of a bad one, you know?
And then
Also,
not
keep in
fate
mind, I
isn't
talked about
sealed
this the
yet.
other day. I'll say it again. Is that destruction of evidence is
You like
something
that?
that, even if the crime hasn't officially been committed yet, it's still something that you can be held accountable for if you are destroying it in anticipation of the crime being reported.
My magic is growing.
So even though it hasn't been charged as a crime yet, this can still be something that you're held accountable for.
one of the kids' parents.
You know, if somebody comes forward and says somebody had the wherewithal to
Now or
record
never. Stop them.
the surveillance video was,
Yeah.
if somebody comes forward with that, that's still usable as evidence.
So they
right?
have to, that person, that's the weird thing about New York State, and I'm not a lawyer, and my knowledge is limited in that, but from my understanding, you need to have somebody confirm the authenticity of the report. So let's say that it's a CCTV of like a corner store. The manager or a
Only
worker
60
would
seconds
have to
left.
show up
Don't
to
give
court
them another
and
inch.
say that
Or
is
out.
the video that's from my store. When it comes from, and I don't know if this is how it was done. Let's say like
But that's
South
bad
Africa,
though,
right?
right? Because if that's the case,
Phone recorded CCTV footage, and then TV footage, and then gave it to you would need somebody to authenticate that, which would, and this is what the legal process is. I'm not sure if that means that the individual that sent the CCTV recording from their phone would have to state, I'm so and so. I recorded that with my phone. I was in the office of such and such school, and this is recording of our CCTV footage. Or,
well, I mean,
if
couldn't they also just like reference the metadata too? Because there would be like a creation date and everything for the data. And assuming that this person isn't some kind of like computer scientist, they're probably not going to know how to like make that artificial.
It means that any
Pick your
representative
hero.
from school
Yeah,
can
there's
say, this person recorded.
Metadata can change. Yeah, but like again, it's more certainty, right? Very rarely are you able to achieve 100% certainty.
I will bring peace
But if
to
you
this
have somebody
universe,
who doesn't
no
really
matter
seem to
the
be
cost.
computer literate that is doing this, and the metadata matches their story, and there's no history of them having experience of changing it or having like education on changing it, then yeah, I think it's a dot on the graph. Yeah, exactly. Eventually you can still draw one.
Is our CCTV footage.
I tend to lost souls, like a shepherd tends to his flock.
So I'm not sure. Like that's something for like the lawyers to do. I'm not sure how that
30
process
seconds
goes.
before
But
you attack. Get ready.
School district did that?
dude, I'm telling you, it's a lot of the schools. When I say that's the worst example that I have, which is obviously a horrible example.
When this
I can't
conflict
tell you
ends,
the amount of
I shall return you to the
shit
hell
that I have to go through in order to go
like
to a
the worst
school,
first date
talk to a principal and say, what did the kid tell you? And they'll
The
go,
battle
I
starts
can't
in
talk to you.
5,
I've got to talk to
4,
my lawyers.
3,
They're like,
2,
isn't your job to protect the
1.
kids? I can't tell you how
All you
many.
need to do is capture the mission area. Got
Doesn't
it?
tell you
I
no
think they're just trying to protect their jobs. I think that's what's probably happening. They're doing this in order to protect their jobs.
I had a girl that was It fucked up.
This another one?
Some assistance, please.
Fucking wild. Like, especially if you're your own kiddo and you don't even know that your own
Mission area is yours
no
to
idea
capture
what's
now.
happening to them.
I am at your service.
No one's
The loyalty to
And you're getting gaslighted by your own school that it didn't happen. Too, like, you think about the damage that does to a kid psychologically. If like the school only acknowledged the thing that happened to it.
we are in this together. Money above them.
I think it's a mix of fear. I think it's the fear of there's a lot of shit there. I don't think it's like dirty money. I think it's a fear of losing your job. It's a fear of the people that are above you that are going to come
I
back.
appreciate him saying this and not trying to turn this into like some global like Pizzagate level conspiracy. It's probably just a lot of people that are bad actors or not doing their jobs properly that are scrambling and using kids as effectively collateral in order to protect
You are
themselves.
safe now, my friend.
Get you. I think it's the fear of stepping out of line and then getting reprimanded.
Yep.
But like one of the cases that I had is a girl went to
Or a dagger.
she got beat by her dad, who's a blood, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
She got beat by her dad, and she went to the school counselor and said,
I require some aid.
and school counselor notes were like, this kid's a liar. She lies a lot about
Appreciate the boost.
how cool she was at another school, and you're like, oh, that's normal kid lying shit. What do I do?
Capture more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
And then the next incident happened where the girl had a video recorded. Forget if it was either her dad or
Cosmic lights.
during the meeting, or if it was of I think it was of her dad.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
She walks into the counselor's office while she's with another girl, plays the video, and the woman's like, is that you? She's like, yeah, that's me. And then the girl walks
have
out of the
risen.
office. And then later on in the day, the counselor goes up to her and is like, hey, listen, what's going on with that video? Like, is that you? Like, what's going on? She's like, yeah, that's me. My dad beats me all the time. And then the kid walked away. Not reported. Not reported.
Quantum magic. I require some aid.
What the fuck?
Go outside.
Now reported CPS. Now
Supplies
reported
at
police.
last.
The third time was when my case was
Maximum
pulse! And swollen. And then they removed the kid from the parents' custody. Right? And then that's when I get back.
This is real firepower!
It took 3 times.
Oh, wait, so it's the same
Your
kid.
team's capture progress has passed
So
the
basically, they reported early on that counselor ignores it. They provide video evidence to the counselor. The counselor ignores it. Finally, this kid gets totally fucked up. And, oh my god. Still ignored. Well, and the counselor probably didn't even have anything to do with it. Tried for help, ignored 3 times? 2 times, apparently. But yeah. Holy shit. That counselor needs to go to prison. Holy fuck. Well, they need to have their license taken away. I mean, at the very least.
Don't mess with the amazing
And why?
Spider-Man!
Because they lied about being popular in another school? Who's the adult here?
The first time, it's easy. Hey, CPS. This girl says that she got beat. I don't really know what
I really hate this idea that I don't know if you guys have noticed this at all being more
Let's
pervasive,
keep fighting until we have
but
a
have
winner.
you guys noticed the pervasive and toxic idea that parents should not be privy to and accountable,
dangerous!
should not be aware of the things that their children do in school? And I'm seeing this happen in a lot of different cases. I think it happens with, for example, like the gender identification. Now it's happening with this circumstance. It's also happening with like sexuality as well in general. And I think that we're seeing more of a widespread perversion that effectively justifies removing a parent's agency over their own child in like the supposed best interest of the kid. Like, I'm seeing abortions is another one. Yeah, giving the kid birth control, right, without telling the parent. I think you should be able to give the kid birth control, but you should also have to tell the parent. Is that fair, right? I mean, I think that's fair. So, in general, duty to report, yeah, it's not just something to fire over, it's a criminal charge. Well, I just don't know enough about that. Like, if that's true, I hope that's what happens. But yeah, this is fucking sick, man. It's a gray area? Yeah, I don't know.
Maximum pulse!
Okay, birth control to make you sterile. Look, if a doctor disagrees with me for legal or like for medical reasons, I would defer to them. I'm just thinking about this ethically from my perspective. I could be wrong. It's not. I don't strongly believe we are in this together. It's just something that if I had to fall off on one side of the fence, this is kind of like.
I feel better already. Spring does an interview and it's valid. I go talk to Dad and Riley. That didn't happen. You just fucking next victim. They just got a video on her phone and shows you. Quantum match. And then you do nothing. And so like that, those are the two. That's one that I'm directly involved in. There's one that I happen to know about. And I can tell you that.
And this is all in the same school district.
Myself and the people in my unit are concerned, but we've made complaints. And people in my chain of command above me have made complaints. And we've had to go back to be like, let's look at this address of the school.
What's the outcome you want on this? Like what
But like, you guys see what I'm saying though, right? About how like there is this increasing like narrative that parents are like effectively not fully accountable for their children, and schools and society should be making decisions above the parents.
Be the light.
I've been seeing this play out in the last 10 years, and I find it to be incredibly disgusting.
30 seconds before
And I
you
think
attack.
this is
Get ready.
one of the dark sides of that.
What do they call you back where you come from?
I want the one school counselor that I investigated arrested for failing to report.
Okay.
You're not a school counselor if you don't know how to tell people that a child's being abused. She needs to be arrested.
I like
Or
your style.
True.
Glad you
Charged.
found your way to
You want to put her on probation? Fucking fine. But something needs to happen. And I'm not saying it needs to happen as like there's no legal system. I'm saying that there has to be a repercussion so that people who see if you don't report
All you need to
what you
do is
didn't
capture the
report,
mission area.
there's
Got it?
repercussions.
So like the people aren't reporting because they're worried the system will fuck them. But if you don't report, the system will shoot you.
So
Exactly, and he's totally fucking right about that. Because yeah, if you're afraid of getting fucked by the system, then you have to create a system where if you don't report, you get even worse.
it's like this thing right? You don't have to talk so much to the police. Like everybody has their own individual rights for self-preservation. You know, your Fourth Amendment rights. You don't have to Miranda, you're not taught to. But it's different when you're mandated with the police. And it's different when parents aren't being told why their kids. If you pick up your fucking toddler from school and they piss themselves and they're crying, and you're like, oh my God, what's Jimmy? What's going on with you? The first thing you do is go up to the teacher. You're like, hey, what happened? And you would expect the real answer. Somebody tried to steal it. What you wouldn't expect is for that school to delete video footage. What you wouldn't expect is for that school to be like, you know what? I'm not sure. Something happened. You have to talk to the administrator. I'm not sure. You know, it's people that are afraid of doing the right thing. Like these school teachers.
Yes. The way you solve that problem is by creating an incentive that doing the wrong thing is 10 times more detrimental. Because if you created a system where doing the right thing puts you at risk, then you have to amend the system.
You captured more than half of the mission area.
And
Keep going.
principals are afraid to do the right thing. And like I said, you can guess why I got my hypothesis why. But either they're failing to do the right thing for one reason or another. And some of them are bad. And I'll give you
Can
another.
somebody get these guys an electric fly swatter? So you can get one of these. All right, listen. So you get one of these right here, and they're really cheap. They're on Amazon. You've got the Dragon Slayer Greatsword, Gut Sword. You guys can definitely afford this. You just get one of these fucking things, and if one of those bugs flies around, you just zap her. It's super easy.
Against the world.
For like $3.
This case might have been true. It could have been like, you know, kids experimenting and one of them got scared. It could have been maximum pulse. I've left 6 messages on a principal's voicemail saying, hey, I just need you to talk to me. I need the phone numbers of the parents. I only have the phone numbers of the kids. I don't want to call the kids. Please give me the phone numbers of the parents, of the adults of these kids, of the police report that you called 911 for, to have police already show up. I just don't have the phone numbers of the parents. I can't get a return.
A man who wishes to use his
How many times do I
power
have to call
for
a school principal to be like, hey, there's a potential school assault. I just need to talk to the parents. And I can't get a return phone call? Fucking wild. And like,
if they're not doing return phone call, there's a certain point where negligence becomes malice.
What the hell are you looking at?
And if you are so negligent that you are, and I think this is malice, by the way, because you're deleting footage. Like, negligence is just not giving a fuck and not reporting anything. But if you're actively hiding things, then that's something that's very different.
Even I.
And for some reason, they're protected. And my opinion, from all of this and everything else, is that it is the legal representatives of the Buffalo City schools that are
I have learned to love peace as well.
advising, educating, scaring, whatever you want to say it is, to these administrators, teachers, counselors. Don't talk to police. Don't make the police report. Have the police report get information only. Or you want to bury a sexual assault with a kid? Have the fucking cop show up and then have them write down everybody's name and say information only, and then don't forward it to special victims. 5 kids, you know, 7 kids are by one other kid in the school, right? They're 14, he's 16. It doesn't fucking matter if it's not a crime or if it was consensual. If somebody says I was and I felt bad about it, it's my job to investigate. Why are you stopping?
The moon haunts you.
Exactly. It's not the police, or sorry, it's not the school administrator's job to distinguish whether a crime was committed or not. I feel better. Their job is to report what happened. Like, they're not the investigator. This is some shit.
I might be asking for financial assistance after this goes live, but I'm okay with it because I'm gonna jump out.
Yeah, this is fun.
You know, something that I learned from our little podcast is ever since we've opened it up to like first responders, I've read a lot of those stories. And first responders, like PTSD, I think it's like for the active duty military when you go to war, it's like it's highs and lows. Like you just get a shit show or nothing. Like it's all over the place. But
there's still so much to do.
It's just a constant thing. And like you being in the smack dab middle of both, bro, I don't know how you do it. Like people in general, like cops in general who deal with like sex crimes or child sex crimes, I couldn't do it. I'd be going to prison. Because it's the idea of like the, you know, at least
he's right.
Tremble before
when you're talking about military trauma, it's like that's over there.
You're in war. Well, that's the thing. You're in war. You are fighting enemy. You're not taking life. It's very rare. You're fighting enemy combatants. You're shooting block, and then you come back and you're like, oh, and it's a separation. Versus here, and it's not the innocent you're seeing and interacting with or pulling up to a crime scene.
I think there's also like the meta level thing where there's like this growing resentment and distaste for police officers. And so anytime a police officer displays a level of vulnerability, you have like a certain toxic part of the internet that is like even happy about it.
Some assistance, please.
I think there's definitely that's going on too, right? There's like an entire culture. Yeah, there's a culture that dehumanizes people and makes it okay to laugh at their suffering.
It's like, hey, there was a
while they're trying to do something good. Right.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
That, and then you have to go home. And then it's going all around. Yeah.
It's like an acute injury versus just like sustained overuse.
Quantum
Like, I'll join the military and go to war.
Us against the world.
I'm so sorry. Any day.
Paper towels.
Paper towel. I got it right here. Boom. Because of that exact,
That was.
you're gonna get peak with.
Victory.
Did you just do a line of energy drink?
Yeah. Ooh, I feel better after this moment. I'll find out.
Well, thank you for your due, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm honestly like I'm like for real like I'm fucking I feel like there is gonna be I am gonna have some sort of repercussions.
Here's what I think is also bad, is that what do you think the probability is that he is just identified every time that this
You'll
has
need a
happened?
top-notch team to win this one.
I think the probability of that is 0. Like, these are the times that he can verifiably prove that something happened that wasn't reported. Think about all the times where they're not reported.
Because I'm trying to do the right thing.
We got your
Like I
back.
feel like people
Or there
like,
isn't
like,
a
like,
You have so many people that will have your back on that.
dude,
We
will show our ass to make that
I
happen.
did that already.
On a different issue.
I will bring peace to this universe.
Do cops have
there is
whistleblower
evil in
protection?
this
I know
universe,
military does. Like,
I
think they do,
There's
yeah.
a whistleblower protection for everybody.
30 seconds before you
So
attack.
yeah, and
Get
like
ready.
if there's like a legal thing where they're gonna come after me, I bet you there is gonna be a legal thing where they come after me, and I don't know how I'm gonna be protected or what that's gonna be. Whenever,
See, like, this is the kind of guy you should have a give send go for him, right? Not some crazy psycho with a knife that stabs somebody in the chest. If that happens.
yeah, I know. Well,
The battle starts in 5, 4,
I don't know what's gonna
3,
be so far,
2,
but I
1.
like the things that I just
All you need
said.
to do is capture the mission area.
Because I'm concerned
Got
about
it?
it's so the one case of mine, that's how I know about it. But like
The local Buffalo News tried to dismiss it all because they were drinking in the podcast.
these are
I
concerns
immediately
from higher ranking people in the Buffalo Police Department. These are concerns from patrol people in the Buffalo Police Department. These are concerns from the
find the
area
article. Can we find the article for me when I finish
attorney's
this?
office. This, got that. This is going on. That's how I know that like the lawyers from or that's the information I'm getting that back up that thinking that the lawyers that represent the schools are not just not responding but also obstructionists, which is what the like. And
I mean, there has to be official correspondence here, right? Like, there has to be some form of paper trail for this if they're communicating. They can't be saying all of this in person.
Whatever Moon Knight summoned has been
if I can be
finished.
frank, I think everybody in the world
It's
is
gotta
going
be
to
a
be
paper
like,
trail. Yeah, exactly. Can we link the
So
video?
let me get
Yeah,
this
I'm gonna link
right.
the whole thing.
you're a lawyer, and instead of assisting the police department in protecting kids because you represent schools, instead of assisting them, you're going to intentionally obstruct them. You're going to not respond to you're going to not respond to court orders. You're so high up the law, you've got no repercussions happening to them. Because like you need somebody above
And
the
that's
judge.
the worst thing about it, is that nothing has happened.
I feel better already.
And they're not even, and this is what I find to be so funny, is people are complaining about, oh, Trump's ignoring judges or whatever. These people are just random school administrators and they're ignoring judges. This is nuts. They represent the school district, not the kid, that's the thing. You know what the worst thing about it is? I think that's a really good way to do it. I think you're totally right.
What's the judge going to do? Hey, I haven't given you anything, and I'm not going to give you anything. And nothing happens. Like, where the f else do you go? The commissioner of police can't do shit about that. You know what I mean? Maybe we can make an arrest here or there, but then we need the assistant district attorneys and the district attorney. This is real firepower! And if there's assistant district attorneys that are like, dude, these lawyers aren't even responding to us. Like, we don't know what, like, we gotta get somebody higher above us.
Judge, jury, executioner!
That's
And it's gotten so bad in the schools that
That's the boost I
this
need.
is my like
Second chance
like
is over.
I was shrinking and then
I just hate how bad it's gotten to the fact where you believe
By
that
the eye of Agamotto!
the best outlet because Jesus Christ.
Well, the problem is because every single other media outlet is so curated and controlled. That's the reason why podcasts and individual media has been growing so much. It's because even some larger alternative media has no institution. People criticize Ben Shapiro and like his company for doing this, for example, right? Is that they're so controlled and they have these ulterior motives. And it's almost like as a media company, the bigger you get, the more the temptation is to work against the best interest of the public.
We shall restore the light to
The Daily Wire is Israel mouthpiece? Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. And I was just bringing this up to say that, like, it's not just mainstream media. This is something that's been going on with alternative media as well.
I already know. I can guarantee this.
Well, that's
On the plus side,
pure cosmic energy.
I know that you guys do your best to protect me, but at the same time, like, if
Cosmic.
yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this, right? Like, if this guy has any sort of, if the school tries to sue him or whatever, and he was I would share it. I would support it myself personally. This is something that I think is real firepower. Much more than the ones that we're promoting nowadays. I think that many people would, right? And so I don't think this guy's alone. I think that the fact is that, I would say probably 90%, maybe probably more than that, of men in like this country and also just in the world feel exactly the way that he does. They do. Like, yeah, 99%. So, yeah, there's a very small subset of people that are these, like, weird, like, there's so much weird about this, right? Like, I don't even want to get into it. Can you summarize what happened? Basically, there's a school district in Buffalo, New York, that is...
The moon!
Right? And so, anyway... that's it, okay. So, they not only are not reporting instances of kids being abused, but on top of that, they're actively deleting evidence of the abuse happening. There was a kid abducted from the school, and the parents were not even told that it happened. And the video evidence of the abduction was deleted, and the only evidence that it happened was recorded by a third party.
I'm doing this my way! Judge! Jury!
Excuse me.
Executioner!
But it was happening and it was stopped.
Just for you. I'll give you destroyed it all.
Thank you.
because I know what's going to happen, right? I'm not stupid. I've been around the media too long enough, and I know how if you shake the right tree, something's going to happen.
Check the Twitter for Buffalo
Like, I
Schools.
know
I'm
what's
going to get to it.
is they're going to say that whatever I said, they're going to pick it apart, they're going to go through all my videos, they're going to go through this right now, what I'm saying, and they're going to go, you violated this and this of your department policy and procedure. And they're going to go, and you violated this, and this, or whatever procedure. And you fired, you're suspended, and here you go. And so what's going to happen is, the guy himself, if I put my own horn, crushing his hands to
Tremble before
This is a big problems that happens to a lot of people that work inside of these different departments, is that their enthusiasm turns to almost cynicism when they feel like they're being oppressed by the bureaucracy of the machine that they're inside of. And I think that's why you have so many of these police officers and people that work in these different organizations that are effectively trained into apathy. Because it's just like, they come into it with like a certain level of righteousness. That righteousness is undermined by endless levels and layers of bureaucratic red tape. They can't express themselves. They can't talk about it. They can't do anything about it. And eventually you do that for 20 or 30 years and you stop giving a damn. I think that's what happens.
That's much better.
We are in this together. This time
I have that in whatever unit I go to, especially under the investigative unit of special victims or others.
This is real firepower!
So I know that I just know
Together! Born again!
there's going to be, I think there's going to be negative.
You're right. Right. This could be perceived as a, you know, like a, what's the word? Yeah, he's trying to do his job. He's trying to do his best. Yeah.
I've done my career, and they're going to come after me for it because that.
The move!
Why? Wait, can we? I guarantee people way more money than their attorneys do.
I guarantee we can create
Do we know who the attorneys are? I don't know the names of the attorneys. But I can say that they are the attorneys that represent the Buffalo school system, and that they are attorneys that have been receiving subpoenas, and that those attorneys that have been receiving the subpoenas have not been like morally, I'm 100% right. Morally, fuck off. I know what I'm doing, but that doesn't mean there's and like that's one of those weird things where like I love being a cop. I'm not gonna stop being a cop. I've had this career, but I love being a cop. But I'm worried that my thing is that I think they're gonna suspend me for an investigation. They're gonna take a good detective that does the right thing off the fucking streets.
Let it happen.
Get that vehicle moving again! Only 60 seconds
I
left!
mean, and by the way, it's easy for me to say because I don't have to catch this event. He does. But, I mean, I think, like, I mean, honestly, like, this podcast, a lot of these guys, like, you know, my audience, etc., like, these are all, like, pretty much, this is the money demographic, right? Middle-aged men and young guys. Yeah. Like, a lot of people going through. Like, of any demographic to have, this is the money demographic.
For an indefinite period. My biggest fear is I don't think I'll lose my job for it, even though I know they'll come after me. My next biggest fear is that they're just going to take me off the table and they're going to fucking put me on administrative leave for 10 years until I force it out. And I'm never going to be able to
You make a channel. I feel like this is
You got contacts in the White House? You got contacts in the Pentagon?
I'll put it this way, we got some contacts that could probably make this terrifying for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, you know, it's all
Board again!
yeah. So and like that, true. You know, again, yeah, that's my fault. Well, I didn't
Tremble before blast!
but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna catch flack. You know, and I'm okay with getting flack for it. What I don't want is to like not do the thing that I'm good at that I love.
We'll make sure that never happens.
Yeah, you got a couple million homies. Yeah. I'll fucking I'll fucking look at our new line numbers. It's like my gang's bigger than yours. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'm invited, but I'm down.
Yeah. So,
Fuck. Well, that was a little heavy.
Yes.
say that again.
Is it not a crime for the mandated reporter to
So, let me tell you something, right? It's a slippery slope, which is one of the reasons why I think there's been like some pushback. I don't want to say pushback, but it's a slippery slope, and that's why it's difficult to charge not reporting when you're a mandated reporter. In New York State, there is New York State penal law. I forget which one it is, but it's failing to report, right?
So
Now,
it is against the law.
that can fall
There it
under.
is.
I'll give you two examples that are very different, right? Failing to report can be the situation that I talked about the girl going to a school
This is the
counselor
podcast,
saying,
by
you
the
know,
way.
that something's happening to me and them not reporting it, right? It can also, technically under the law, right, the white and black of it, it can also be done if you beat up your kid, a 911 call, and I'm a police officer, and I arrest you for that, and I take you to jail, but I
30
don't
seconds
report
before
it.
you attack. Get
So
ready.
that's one of the things that's kind of keeping
That makes
like
sense.
the police, I think, essentially at bay, is that there's instances where the police made an arrest, but they didn't report, which is like, to me is bullshit. They made the arrest. The arrest has been effected. A rookie cop would assume that
battle starts in
I've done
5,
literally the
4,
highest amount of that I can
3,
do. I've effected an arrest. I haven't just taken a report and sent it.
All you need to
I've
do is
made an
capture the
arrest.
mission area.
New York State
Got
now
it?
knows that this person has been arrested for
Space,
child
I can
abuse,
protect,
and they bring
but
him
add
in.
time to the mix
And so I
get tricky.
know that that's one of the issues when it comes to going for somebody that has a failure report, because if the legal system is the legal system, you do it for
I
one
think it's
person.
a very big difference too. Also, if you're talking about a police officer not reporting something as he's arresting somebody for a certain crime, this is like an administrative error.
Is yours to capture now.
But whenever you're talking about like a counselor not reporting something, this is a deliberate obfuscation. Like you see kind of like where there's like a very big difference here. Is that like one cop fucks up by not reporting it right. This is done, oops, I'm a dumbass. And then the counselor doesn't report it. Oops, I'm a piece of fucking shit. That's the difference.
You gotta do for them all. And sometimes, people in the legal system don't see the gray. And the gray is the police officer made a good judgment by effecting an arrest. And maybe failed to report. But in that failure to report, it wasn't an intentional failure to report. He made an arrest and assumed that was enough, which I think we can all agree is like an understandable mistake.
Yeah.
The soul
right?
cannot truly
That's when you have a good system, it works.
Yeah. Got our
If you effect an arrest, why should you have to make a report? That should be done by maybe a report technician or by New York State by checking a box and saying, oh, hey, this person was arrested for this.
Yeah,
we'll fill out
it's
this
a
report
bureaucratic
automatically
mistake.
from CPS. But that's very different from my example of the school council failing to report not once. And I'll even let that one slide. My dad meets me. All right, this kid's a liar a little bit. I don't, where are the bruises? You seen the bruises? Well, I stay
Pretty good team.
So then I don't have bruise up that well. Like, all right, this is weird. You should report that. But everybody makes a mistake. All right, cool.
The
You got one.
cosmos heals you.
But if some kid just shows up to you with a recording on their phone and says, hey, this is me, and walks away, and then later on in the day, you go back to that kid and then confirm that it's them, fuck off. You don't get to do your job anymore because you can't. You're an F. So those are two different things, and that's one of the things that I've noticed is like this slippery slope. If you go against a counselor that did the obvious wrong, that can bring in litigation to say, well, we have to treat the officers as we do the CPS report when they made the arrest.
Do you remember what I said about how, like, in video game companies, they create these levels of bureaucracy where accountability is placed through so many different people that nothing can ever change and nothing can ever be done? One thing that I think is a commonality is that there's, like, a degree of bureaucratic rigidity that happens within systems, and you need to regularly flush that out.
Good to see you can
and I
back
think
up
that's
all that
what's
bravado.
happening in this circumstance, is that you have this accountability that's being displaced among too many people. And because the accountability is displaced among so many people, nobody actually wants to do anything and step outside of line because it might put everybody at risk. And there's no way that you can actually do accountability because there's so many chains of command and so many chains of like behavior or action. Like who's really at fault here? It's very hard to say. And I think here's the worst thing about this is that I think that in a lot of these cases, it's done by design. I think that people create these bureaucratic Gordian knots in order to make it impossible to unravel who actually is doing things wrong, so it's easier for them to just simply not do their job. That's what's happening. That's what I actually think that it's happening.
But at the same time,
It's in video games, it's in education, it's in corporations, it's in probably, I don't know, probably the military, I don't know. It's everywhere. It's
Even
job
my
security,
cosmic
yes,
might
exactly.
may not be enough to save
too big
this
to move,
universe.
like I said, there's gray, there's understand. There is, what do we call it? Officer discretion. That officer discretion is passed down to the fucking ADA. Which means that if I see something happen, you go through I have the discretion to not give you a stop sign.
Seems the king of the seas
The
has the royal
ADA,
follow.
this attorney has to get
A good example of this, just so you guys know context, is that an officer has discretion to give you a speeding ticket until you're going and at that point he's compelled by law to give you a speeding ticket, but before that, it's up to him.
discretion to say, all right, you effected an arrest. You weren't intentionally not reporting to CPS that you made an arrest and
Or
thought
above
that
80 in
you
Texas.
made a mistake. Hey, next time.
There's
fix
still
it,
so
right?
much to do.
And then you also have
Very
the
court by court.
discretion
Yeah, but like
to
that's
then
an
arrest that
example,
school
like kind of
counselor
a
that
general
fucked
idea.
up until the third time that kid came into school black and blue, and I had to arrest her blood father.
The cosmos heals you.
So,
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
dude, I love it. It's great. And I never expected to have like this emotional like reaction to it. But like,
It seems like the
The bureaucracy of this trains police officers into apathy and cynicism, right?
Reed Richards, ready for adventure.
Like I think that like all this fits together.
And like, it's awful to experience, but it's also awful knowing that if I'm not there to stop it, it'll keep going.
yeah, and I can't do that. I can't do that. Will serve me well. To fucking pump my own horn. It's like being a drill sergeant. If I see a private fuck up and they do the wrong thing, I'll be able to drill sergeant. Well, you just get that level, like make a complaint on you.
After my steps, I am at your service.
And we just in that fight. Well, the same thing here. Like,
Our aquatic enemies have been eliminated.
I was doing their job.
You are not alone.
They should do that. And if you make a mistake,
I think this is also again like another Karen bureaucracy thing. Is that when you're dealing with law enforcement and primarily all men, there are instances where yelling at somebody is the right decision. I'm sorry, especially if you're dealing with a bunch of young men. That's how you deal with it. But the problem is that, you know, inside of a Karen bureaucracy, you don't understand that. Like, how many of you guys have had, yeah, like, what the fuck, dude, yeah, how many of you guys have had a situation when you were a young guy, you know, age 14, probably 20, somewhere around there, and you were acting like a fucking retard, and you got yelled at, and fucking set straight, and after that, things were better. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying they should beat the shit out of you. I'm not saying anything really bad. But there is a degree of natural male friction that happens that I think a lot of Karen bureaucracies don't understand.
Alright, hey, listen.
I am ready to put on a show. The mission area. Keep going.
If you make a, if you are, what would you call it?
Disappear!
A cover-up intentionally preventing the district attorney's office from gathering information after there's subpoena by court orders or judges, etc. Then fuck you.
Healing power.
If you're deleting,
It's about holding people accountable, right? If you're doing this, you should be put up on charges. Like, that's what needs to
evidence?
happen. That's what I think.
you.
The area's almost yours.
It's come to that point where
Looks like an alien.
oh man, I'm stressing about it for like the past like 5 days.
I would be too.
Ever since I
I'd be so stressed.
decided that something had happened and I didn't know what to do, and I was like, I think it's
You deserve far better than that.
Born again!
Thank you.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Strange is at it again. Portal.
Also, fuck you. Yeah, that's true. I like that.
It's taken so much to not hug you.
Yeah, like
How do you want us to start?
what's that?
How do you want us to start?
I think that if
I think we just did.
yeah.
No, I know we did. Just
I
what's the
think
opening move?
I'm not gonna lie, like hearing you talk about that, and then Brandon brought up the whole like, you know, if you're not there, then who else is gonna do
Dude,
it?
there's a lot of people that care that don't know what to do, and they're like, we're trying to do it, we're trying to move it forward, and I'm like, it's not fast enough. This is, you know what?
I think this is also the reason why a lot of movies like Batman and like old westerns are so popular, especially with guys, is that all of this kind of stuff is antithetical to what I think the human perception of true justice is.
Pick your hero.
Even
Or
vigilante
villain.
movies,
I'm
yeah,
not
exactly,
judging.
right? Because like, and I'm not justifying. I'm not saying vigilante justice is good, but I'm saying that like all this fits together, and it paints, I think, a very, very clear picture, right? People are looking for moral justice, not legal justice, and that's a very important distinction there.
same spot for 2 years. Heaven help us if how long we've been in that same spot before I got to the Special Victims Unit, right? I know we've been in the same spot since I became a detective and went to the Special Victims Unit in 2023.
That time
And
has
if
come.
we were still in that, if that spot is where we're at now,
30 seconds before you
I
attack.
don't know how
Get
far
ready.
back that beginning was. And like I said,
What a
there's a lot of good
strange
people in the
alliance.
ADA's office.
We should be at odds,
in
you and I.
Why
the
do you
commissioner's
say
office of my
that,
police
Man
department.
of gold.
There are
I seek
good
to
people
save
that
souls.
have been
You
trying
seek
to
to
find a
collect
way
them.
to fix it.
But if they
And
all cease to
they're
exist, we would
frustrated
both be out of business.
and they're limited
The battle
with
starts
what
in
they
5,
can do. They're
4,
just limited. Hey man, I'm
3,
pushing up the chain of command. I
2,
keep making these things. I
1.
keep saying these things.
All you need to do
And-
is capture the mission area. Got
Like,
it?
I'm
This
doing
is
it.
what, see, this is exactly what I was saying. Yep.
I'm not ignoring it, and
Trains
like I said,
people
it's
into
been
apathy.
weighing on me. I got my last week.
That's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
So I got last week.
It's a lot.
The mission area
Hey,
is
something like a
yours to capture now.
This is actually, you know what? Like, I unironically,
Capture the mission area.
I'm gonna read this guy's comment. They need something like a Me Too movement. People need to mass come forward and whistleblow so the majority can't be disciplined.
There's still so much
I
to
think
do.
this is true. Yeah, and I'm Spartacus moment, basically. Yeah, for fucking sure.
Appreciate it.
Oh, Rich, I think we can all say you're not ever going to be John Lewis.
Yeah, but man, I really like this.
I feel better already.
Well, you know, outside of all the millions
Do you think
of...
there's a chance this man just severely underestimates how long legal proceedings can take? Well, I think that isn't that circular logic to a certain degree? Is that the problem is that things are taking so long, so the answer to why they're taking so long is because they take a long time? I don't think that really...
Your team's capture
like,
progress
that
is
doesn't
past
necessarily
the
like,
halfway point.
okay, never mind.
fake people.
I'll patch you up.
You know we all love it.
Yeah, shut up. All right, let's say some joke for you.
Hey, Rich, I speak for the entire table. We will always have your back. No matter what, the entire community will rally behind you. Thank you so much for opening up. Showing us
I think another really important component to this is that I bet this is only the tip of the iceberg. I do, because these are the ones that they can verifiably confirm or suppress. Think about how many of them that were successfully suppressed.
Supernova! You'll have to keep fighting until you have a winner.
Official statement. Yeah,
We
we're
are
gonna look
blessed
at
to
it.
call you a friend. We are blessed to share a wonderful experience that
This is real firepower!
kicking ass and taking command. To the audience out there that
Yeah,
might
give it a
not
like,
know
give 'em a sub.
Rich, Angry Cops.
Unsubscribed
You're talking
podcast.
to a dude that loves being a police officer, loves being a detective, most importantly, loves helping others. He is still in the military as a drill
I will bring
sergeant.
peace.
He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to
In a
be a
world
police officer.
consumed by darkness,
He chooses
I
to
will
be
gladly
because he
do that.
actually
Part two
cares
is crazy.
and he actually
Is it?
wants to make a difference. That is so rare to find a human like that. That's why
30
he is
seconds before you
a
attack.
You know what I
very-
think?
Get
I actually
ready.
disagree with that. I think that there's a lot of guys out there that want to go out and make a difference, and they are trained into apathy by the oppressive nature of these systems.
Ooh, a threat.
Very, very good friend.
I think there's a
And
lot of people like that.
why stress how lucky we are to have an individual like that in our lives. Be proud of yourself, man.
The battle starts in
that is
5,
from all the love from all the
3,
guys. We are just
2, 1.
blessed to have you in our lives.
All you need to
my
do
friend.
is
And I
capture
know
the
it
mission
wasn't
area.
easy doing
Got
that
it?
message, crying on camera and crying in front of others is difficult. It's not an easy thing putting yourself out there, and you did. And you have so much respect. So thank you, buddy. Thank you for being who you are, my friend. glad you remained. I'll give you a hug if I can.
Well, there it is. Wow. Okay. Yeah, again, Unsubscribed Podcast. They have a part 2. The part 2 is an hour long. Depending on how the reception for this is and everything. I know, obviously, like, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, it's like kind of I mean, this is kind of like a heavy topic, right? But like, whenever I saw this, I was like, okay, I have to talk about this, right? This is pretty crazy, right? Watch it. I'm not gonna watch it today, right? And just because I'm not gonna watch it today, I've got other things I want to do. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna watch it. Not right this moment. So yeah. Anyway, there it is. Thanks, John. Yeah, for sure.
Maximum
pulse. Matters and Powerball Doggy. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, people are very, very supportive of this, and this video went very viral for their podcast too. Like if you look at our like this podcast is really popular. But like, you know, you're looking at 300 and 400, 500. You know, like usually like somewhere around 500,000 views. This one has 1.6 million, right? So it definitely hit outside of at least like their orbit of like audience, and hopefully, you know, like me talking about it, like putting it out for like my audience too will help out for people too. Because yeah, I had no idea about this. Now I heard that the school district actually reported, they reported about this themselves. Is that correct? That the school district also has had a response to these guys doing the video, right? And so let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at it. This is the statement from the Buffalo School. So let's go ahead and take a look at it in just a second. I have to mods. So we got a bunch of fucking retards over here talking shit. Statement from the Buffalo Public School. A member reveals the school district was actively trying to remove it. And and this is the this is the video right here. So this is the statement the public school made as a response to this video and these allegations. They said, statement from the Buffalo Public Schools is aware of an unfortunate and recent allegation circulating in an online video. The district is prepared to vigorously address these untruths. The district has prioritized the safety and security of its students and staff every day. BPS is the second largest Buffalo Public Schools, I guess, largest district in New York City. Or New York State. Yeah, right. With some 60 schools, 30,000 students, and any transgressions that may happen are handled swiftly with seriousness, fairness, empathy, and integrity. Surely. Okay, so they have a close professional relationship with the police department. Welcome. Oh, shit. Oh shit, there it is. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Yep, there you go. And thank God. Now let's see if there's any information about. So what about these guys being drunk? Because I read somebody saying that like they were getting discredited because they were drunk.
I'm not judging.
I will bring
yeah, I'm not sure if that's true or not.
The cost.
Can somebody find me the is a local news did it? It is on his okay, let me see if I can find it real quick. He tweets a lot, but I'll see what we can do. And let's see, where is it? Ah, fuck. New charges filed in Buffalo Schools incident highlighted in podcast. According to court documents, the Illinois native faces new felony charges. Wait, okay, so hold up. So this is a bit of an update here. Am I getting this right?
30 seconds before
so
you attack.
all of these things are up. Wait a minute. So if they're all untrue, then why did they lead to a new felony? Why did they lead to a new felony charge?
I never called myself that.
Ah, jeez, guys. I wonder what the reason for that is. Oh, what a big fucking mystery. How could this have happened? Yeah, it's drunk. Yes. Oh my God, it's a mystery. Yeah. Wow.
The battle starts in 5.
Yeah, I guess 4, they just arrested him because of the podcast,
2,
right?
1.
Detective, and this is it.
All you
Buffalo
need to do
Schools.
is
Huge
capture the
shout out.
mission
Yeah,
area.
and this is
Got
a
it?
charge done by the police, of course, right? And this is the original video. And let me see. So, is there any information about this, about the article written about them that was negative? because that was the thing that I had wanted to look at before. Oh, by the way, Donut,
Take cover.
just to keep in mind who this guy is. I've talked to him a couple of times before. He's a really nice guy. And he was the one that paid the fine for the, I think the, let me make sure that I'm 100% right on who it is. There's a South Korean Navy SEAL YouTuber was fined $7,000 for attacking Johnny Somali, and he said, I just did what I needed to do as a Korean citizen. And then he obviously had the fine, and then Donut paid the fucking fine for him. So that's who this guy is, right? And yeah, beat the shit out of Johnny Somali, right? Yeah, exactly, fuck him. And so anyway, where is the article about this? I want to find it, because I just want to see another, anytime that I can find an instance of media being dishonest or disingenuous, I want to find it. Goblin Slayer? Yeah, exactly, right? Oh, fuck. Ripped Up Brands, can I send you the link? I posted it to your ex. Yeah, tag me in it on Twitter and I can take a look at it there. Let me see if I can pull it up myself. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Healing power.
Where is...
Your god is suffering.
I'm not seeing any articles. Yeah, I'm not seeing this, bro. Like, where is it? Probably looking at Buffalo Channel 4 News. Okay, sure. I guess I can try to find that. Right? Whoa. Whoa. Those auto-completes?
Healing power.
Nice.
Damn. Okay,
I am at your service.
let me see if I can find any
Watch
information
out,
about
they're
this.
headed our way.
The move! Accusations made. This is it. Against in a podcast, seriously. I don't know if this is really it or not. He says appeared on more national podcasts and not responding quickly to his original allegations. Something on the surfaces. Yeah, is this it? I'm not sure if this is it or not.
This time I need healing.
Exit out of that.
Stay away from that arm.
It's not this one.
Bring
Okay.
on the chaos.
Does anybody have the title? Does anybody have the title of it at all?
Together.
Because if I can find the title, then it will be easier for me to do it.
Cosmos heal people.
Yeah, give me 1 second. It's on X. Okay, it looks like we might have a link, guys. Thanks a lot. Okay, we got Fern Melder, one of my mods in chat. Huge W. Oh, it's an actual video? Oh, shit. Wait. Instead of focusing on the allegations of child abuse cover at first, you go after unsub.
That's a newly got fresh, but what is a very hot topic right now?
Allegation.
Oh my gosh, I mean, seeing this coming over the weekend, reading about it, and headlines, so like, what's going on? So when you go
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
hiding sexual abuse involving students. This is what one police officer, Buffalo police officer detective is saying is going on.
So let's look into what you first said.
Larger conversation here. This is the part where we get to share your voice and really dive into today's topics. And today's topic is one that a lot of people are weighing in on.
like a
on
shepherd
Facebook,
tends to his
reading on the
flock.
WKBW page right now on our website. So good morning to you. I don't know what you think about this frankly bizarre situation that's happening.
So, a Buffalo police detective from the Special Victims Unit
30
has
seconds
come
before you
forward
attack.
to
Get ready.
expose allegations of sexual abuse among students in
You are
schools
not
and then
as
a
human as you
deliberate
look,
cover-up
are you?
among administrators and lawyers for
I
the
am
Buffalo
not
Public
human
School
at all.
District. So,
I am a
this all
god,
kind of stems
and
from one
you would be
incident
wise to
particular
treat me as
at
such.
the school
Whether
district,
God
the
or
Buffalo Science
otherwise.
Museum. So Detective I came out over the weekend on the podcast
Battle
and
starts
made
in
all
5,
of these allegations
4,
about what's
3,
happening inside the
2,
school that the
1.
school says is inherently
All you
false
need to do is
and
capture the
untrue.
mission area. Got it?
Then why did a new felony charge happen?
To slay. What are we waiting
For the thing that they said happened?
So while they say that there's nothing to worry about, Detective High says that there is. most certainly.
What a surprise.
We're gonna dig in here. We want to share your voice because there's obviously a lot to get
The mission area is yours to capture now.
The agency.
All could be going on. All kind of going to this story. I think I heard it over the weekend, and it was all kind of going through my mind. Immediately, I'm like, wait. There's another. And claims that they are hiding sexual abuse and sexual assault on students. Red flag for community members. These are our kids, our students. So how could this possibly be going on one and then be going on reported? So you see this podcast, this is Richard High, and he made these claims on a podcast. He says, look, I know this is serious. Look who's here.
Maximum pulse!
So I'll be honest with you, I started watching.
Born again!
My first thought was, this is like I watched listening to all these guys burp and just be absolutely foul.
Second chance is over.
What a little soy boy rat bitch.
Healing supplies at last. Quantum magic.
What a nasty little rat. And how much? What is it now? Like,
Almost heals even.
what?
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
The white claws on the table, there's alcohol involved here.
Is alcohol involved here?
You get a weapon. You get a weapon.
Let's get this straight. So now they're not dressed in a good way on the podcast. Do you want to know what's really terrifying for these news anchors? Let me tell you the fucking truth of why they're scared. The fact is that this podcast probably has infinitely more people watching than this shitty news. So the reason why they're upset and they're afraid is because these podcasts put them at risk. That's the reason why they don't like the podcasts. It's not because of any sort of journalistic integrity. Well, you knew that wasn't the reason. But it's just because it puts them at risk. White Claws are not alcohol? No, there's alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
I threw them away. I in this together. The non-alcoholic White Claws, I drank some of them. They were okay, but not amazing. But the ones they were drinking were alcohol. Okay, there's definitely that. What a disgusting thing to say.
What is this?
This is crazy. I'm listening to all these guys burp and just be absolutely foul.
How are they being absolutely foul? What does that even mean? What is that? What does this even mean?
Like the white claws on the table, alcohol involved here.
My first thought is, okay, this can't actually be real. But then when you actually listen to the allegations, you unpack what he's saying and understand that this guy is, to an extent, a public figure in that A, he's paid for with taxpayer dollars, and B,
he's a public figure because he's paid for with taxpayer dollars? That's not what being a public figure means.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
The higher the pressure,
it's just
the
not.
more dazzling the
what?
diamond.
Don't you have a teleprompter that you read this off of?
Also put out there on his social media pages, his personality, and for all to see and support, you understand.
So he's trying to poison the well to make it seem like this detective is coming out here and doing it in order to get attention for his social media. And so he's introducing him in this way to poison the well for the audience, to think that he's a bad actor.
The only thing stronger than my skin is
but it's a lot of credence.
I mean, he's in the special victims unit. He's not just some random guy. He is a Buffalo police officer.
30 seconds
and he's
before
going
you
out
attack.
on a limb, not
Get
only
ready.
on the podcast, but he spoke with 70 reporter Monty Becker. He came here and talked to us.
His job, I would argue, is what he is most at risk of.
I will bring peace.
Coming out
Perfection
here
is
and saying
unattainable,
something
but
against
that should
the
not
Buffalo
stop
public
us from
school
trying to
district
achieve
that he believes is 100% true, that
They're
they
all
think is
denying.
false. Sharice, good morning to you. Shaking my head is all I'm going to say. It's terrible all over. I want to go to Cindy's comment here. There is way too much going on that is kept untold.
All you need to do
And
is
Grace,
capture the mission area.
we don't know
Got
if
it?
it's true, but if it is, what the hell is wrong with them? How are they working? kid.
That's what I'm saying
So
about
you're
this.
reading, you're checking the chat.
I need
You somehow think that you're above a
I require some aid. Quantum magic.
I suppose that helps.
There's still those about school every single day, and good morning to you, the amount of abuse going on in our world, sick of these secret problems about kids and testing. You say, my question is, why do you think they were lost? So many kids ask questions and that's a question too. Initially you hear something and you have to, is this true? But then you're like, well, how did you lie?
I feel better already.
What's going on here? So now the session tonight, and the executive session, so that was very last minute, late on.
Well, that's what's going on.
Whatever's going on, we'll have to have a conversation and how to get ahead of it.
They are at this point publishing healing power. What they're saying here is that
Born again!
what I said is interesting in that.
I am at your service.
So, I mean, I guess they couldn't release the footage of the abductor, but actually they could. They could just omit the part where the kids are involved.
I am born anew.
So, if the Buffalo School District wanted to prove this wrong, they would just show the security camera footage.
Starlord, can you please take care of the squids?
Coming in and leaving the
So now,
because
okay.
I mean, right? That
Oh, yeah,
would
thank you.
immediately dispute.
I am ready to put on a show.
But if they don't have to, how far back do they have it? And if they're missing this,
Powers of might! 气贯长虹!
Ah, man, I wonder.
Your friends can't help you
Eli's
now.
the host. Eli's in the chat. What's his what's your name?
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Wait, oh, is this him? Oh, fuck. That's actually Eli. Let me see. User. Let me. Yeah, bro, like, gifted subs. Yeah, thanks for what you're doing, man. Like, I know, I think Twitch doesn't let you, like, talk or something like that
Destiny
if you follow for a
awaits.
while. But, yeah, no, I mean, like, I'm really excited to find out what the follow-up to this is. I am, man. I really am. And thanks a lot for putting this out there. Yeah, we totally support you. And, you know, if anything bad happens, you know, like, our community is totally in support. Yeah, we do.
I feel better already. The cosmos heals you.
There was constructive evidence
Thanks so much.
where attempted kidnapping, attempted abduction inside the school that is connected to the Buffalo Science Museum.
Quantum magic.
Because the doors are locked there, somebody deliberately deleted that video.
I feel like this is the easiest thing to prove, right? It's so, like, am I crazy? It's so fucking easy.
That's good.
With being an obstructionist and trying to get them to cooperate with attorney's office. So there is a lot of legalese here and a lot of, like,
safe now,
that actually
Quantum
much broader
Only 60 seconds
look
left.
into it and start thinking about it. But what you can do is the big question. Where do we go from here? You're sending your kids off to school this morning. You trust the people that you're sending
in this
take care of your kids. Locust Brent, I think is what it is. Like, they are basically guarding
Fire!
They didn't guard very well.
Us against the world.
Plus, he can switch himself.
Down to 30 seconds.
My question is there a different way to go about
Quantum magic.
Oh, great. Let's make another advocacy for... Let's advocate for the systems that cause this problem to happen.
I enjoyed that.
Let's advocate for another bureaucratic compliance system that causes everything to effectively get filtered so much that it ceases to
I have located one of our opponents.
Yeah, that's what he wants to do. Yes, exactly. And this is, again, these are the people that make the advocacy and they make the appeal to the authority of these systems that are designed to be oppressive. They'd rather waste all the time.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Exactly. Yeah, and like you see, and this is why, like, I don't want to make this like very political, because this is like very deep political issue. But like you see why, for example, like I'm a big supporter of like Elon Musk removing a lot of this Ghost, thanks to the 10 subs. Elon Musk removing a lot of like the bureaucratic fat. I feel like these people are just an absolute cancer.
Some assistance, please.
No, I think focusing on the party affiliation really leads
Your powers are mine!
about this legitimate problem. I think that even if it's 95% a Democrat problem, that doesn't mean that I'm saying it is, but this is a problem with simply any bureaucratic system. And I think this happens in the public and private sector. This happens in the federal government, it happens in the local government, it happens in video game studios, it happens in startups once they get enough money. I don't see the connection, to be honest. So here's what the connection is. This guy is making an argument toward the guy on the podcast coming on there and not going through the official channels in order to make this known. But the problem is that those official channels are designed to be oppressive. And so when you create a system that effectively suppresses and makes it almost impossible for you to do certain things, then that system is effectively working against your goal. So when you make an advocacy for that system, you are effectively advocating against the goal of what the system is designed to supposedly do. That's the reason. Double off your opposite. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's basically it. Did you say something? Sorry. Let me just go ahead and put that.
Enemies on approach.
I don't know if it's still crossed or not.
Delivery service now. Back up all that bravado.
Yeah, welcome on. Thank you for getting all legacy. Yeah, bro, Eli. Yeah, this is the host of the podcast, by the way. Like, huge W's in chat. Like, bro, like, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you for doing it and everything. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yes. Legacy media is garbage. It is. It's so bad, and it's crazy. And again, legacy media is part of that bureaucracy. It is part of that bureaucracy. It is part of this, again, this immovable apparatus that prevents anything from happening of value or importance. So yeah, we totally see if there's any degree of, you know, what's the word? Like, repercussions, collateral, or anything like that, my community's totally supportive, and we'll do whatever we can. And big shout out to Andrew Thomas. He's a legend. Yes, again. And he's 100% correct. We have the deleted footage.
That's better. Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Oh my god! So not only are they awful, they're also stupid. Who could have ever imagined? So, but doesn't that prove what he was saying? That this wasn't some nefarious Pizzagate situation. It's just a bunch of retards trying to protect themselves.
Another epic victory!
Yeah, there it is. Of course, fucking retards, exactly. Yeah, huge fucking shout out. Yes, those footage. Well, they're probably not going to show it yet, right? I mean, why would they? You have to understand that showing the footage of this happening, I would be very reluctant to do that because there could be minors involved. I wouldn't immediately show that. That's smart for them not to immediately show it. Looks like there's been bombings that have happened literally right now. And I also want to say, guys, approach all of this with a tremendous amount of skepticism. I can almost guarantee you that some of these images that we'll look at right now will not be authentic. At least maybe one or two of these might be from something else, so we're doing our best to look at what's being displayed, but there is a chance that some of this could be inauthentic, it could be from something else, etc. But anyway, it looks like there's multiple explosions from Norkhon Air Base of Pakistan headquarters of the Pakistan Army. Tit for tat action action by India after Pakistan. So India is actually bombing Pakistan now. Oh shit! Here we go.
Get ready.
Holy fuck!
Unnecessary pain and strife you caused my people. And yet there you are.
Oh my god. India ain't no bitch. It seems that way. Yeah, it seems like all that, you know, all those memes about Gandhi being aggro and civilization. Apparently that was real.
एक दूसरा ब्लास्ट भी हुआ है हमारी ये नूर खान एयर बेस पे और बहुत तेजी से ये एक और अटैक हुआ और ये आप लोग देख सकते हैं कि कितना ये काफी ज़्यादा ये भी सेकंड ब्लास्ट हुआ और ये काफी हैवी ब्लास्ट हुआ है ये अभी एक
Wow. And here's another video right here too. Islamabad. Damn. I've got to say that, you know, from all these different images being put out at the same time of seemingly different angles of the same thing happening, it is making me believe that this is what happened. Indian projectile successfully intercepted Noor Khan Air Base in Pakistan. It fell on the airport road near the base. Look at this. This is the big one here. Take a look at this. Holy shit. So they stopped the missile before it got to the military base. I gotta say again that we really have to think about, you know, especially if we're like, you know, if any of you guys are in America, how big of a privilege it is that we live in a country where this shit just never happens, right? Like it's like one of those like peace of mind things that like you and I probably never even consider, but like this is fucking terrifying. Yeah, hopefully it stays that way, right? And it now appears Indian missiles landed on a road near Pakistan's base, so they shot down the missile maybe. Visual confirmation of the strike on Noon Air Base. Multiple massive explosions heard.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
So that's at the base?
Maximum pulse!
Damn. Wow.
I suppose that helped.
So the missile just landed just fine? Well, it probably, no. I think what happened is that the missile, it got shot down, and it didn't actually hit its original location. It was intentional. The sound delay makes it more real. Yeah.
I would knit the dimensions back together if it were within my power.
They're both testing out each other's anti-missile tech. It's a prerequisite for all-out war.
A shortcut through space.
Jesus.
I'm bulky.
This is the same one as before. The missile drop there. Oh my god.
जस्ट अभी ये मिसाइल गिरा ये भी मिसाइल गिरा
पे ये चिकलाला एयरबेस पे इन्होंने फेंका ये एक कोर
shot down missiles do not explode in the ground but in the air.
I am simply a man who wishes to use his power.
That's a good point. I don't know enough about that to like that sounds like, yeah, like it depends, right? Yeah, it probably depends, right?
This universe
I think you bring up a good point.
cannot forsake the
Let me see here if there's any more of this.
I understand that struggle all too well. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Perhaps the only thing heavier than my hammer, old friend.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do
Exactly,
is
as
capture
they're
the
both
mission
probing
area.
each other's defenses and responses. Also, when enemy units scramble, they give the locations, capabilities, etc. Is there a confirmation that this was indeed India's missile or Pakistan terror attack on purpose to integrate the wormhole? I would assume that with a missile that is, like, a lot of terrorist organizations don't have access to ballistic missiles in this way. Like, maybe a handful of them do, but like a local Pakistani insurgency group probably doesn't have access to a missile like this.
Mission area is yours to capture now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was India. Yeah, I would say it probably would be India. You'd be surprised? They do. Some of you guys are saying that they do. They could be government back. Look, how about this? I think it's probably India, but there's a possibility that they could have done as a false flag. Sure, it's possible. Norcon Air Base hitting Ron Polly. Holy fuck.
Destiny awaits.
India carried out the strikes. Yeah, there it is.
भाईजान नूर खान बेस में आगे गिरा है
Good. And it also does, it seems like this is getting confirmed more and more. Like, more people are like saying this is actually happening.
This time I need healing. My cosmic might returns.
The missile travels at 2.8 speed, 2.8 times the sound of the speed of sound. Missiles can be intercepted via jamming. So yeah, again, I'm not a fucking missile expert, right? I have no idea. Indian missile strike seems to have struck at least one Pakistani sea. Oh wow! So they actually hit one of their transports. Damn.
I have risen.
Wow. But why do you think there's so much war in the world? Why can't people just eat food and chill? I think the reason why you're seeing so many wars happen right now is partly because you have better video cameras and better video footage that gives people the ability to access it as much as possible. I think that's probably the biggest reason why. And I think that things like this have been happening probably for like dozens of years. Like, think about, for example, like all the movies we watched whenever we were like, teenagers, about like different random like wars that are happening in Africa. But because nobody over there had iPhones to record the wars happening, we thought everything was just pretty much whatever. So yeah, shit's always been happening. Yeah, definitely. Wait a second. My dad's hello? Yeah. Yeah, I saw it.
Your powers are mine! I'm ready to put on a show!
You're on speaker. You're on speaker. Yeah.
तेजी होके उलट गया वो तेजी से निकला Well, you can't expect to win them all.
One of the videos that you showed was a close-up kind of thing. You can see that missile was one that exploded on the ground, by the way.
Yeah.
It exploded by hitting a tanker or a tank of gas, or that's what it looks like. As I told you before, what's the most explosive substance?
Gasoline.
Compressed.
Yeah.
And see that? See that? 2 hits? See the 2 hits? Watch it again.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and an aerial explosion is almost always an anti-personnel or a concussion that is meant to take out things above the ground, you know?
Yeah.
So if you have it just hit the ground, you think of it as an artillery round or a rocket.
Right.
Inside it is explosives, but all around the explosives are projectiles.
Oh yeah, with shrapnel. Yeah.
So
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
How much of that shrapnel goes into the ground?
The higher the pressure.
然后下大雨还是说不要。
That's why you use an aerial explosion is either to do that or there's another way
靠腰蜘蛛的很难玩。
Yeah.
你玩那个猛毒吧。
就随便玩啊。
causes a great deal of concussion.
Mm-hmm.
Usually primarily by putting in more explosive because you don't have to use the room for the flesh editor or whatever they're using for shrapnel.
Yeah.
So a concussion.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Like the middle of a city, you can knock down.
See those
10
webs?
buildings.
We have to protect
You
them at
know,
all costs.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think they're at that level yet. I think that this was a yeah.
These are ground hitting.
Yeah.
Battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's an air base. That's what they're saying.
Target that vehicle to its destination.
Their barracks or whatever the fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you get? 100 guys? That's nothing. I mean, so that's that. And earlier when you showed
The Russian parade. Yeah.
yeah, whatever his name is,
Well, I bet they do. I mean, if I was them, that's what I'd be trying to do.
He said it that way.
Yeah.
Steel, you know,
Get that vehicle moving again.
bond. Yeah, steel bond.
Yeah, yeah.
With Russia
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. There's like a degree of that causing this. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, look, let me get back and yeah. Go ahead.
Either 29, but I believe it was 39 heads of state.
I thought slave demons.
The main guys like,
this should be easy.
You know, Bullhead from.
Get that vehicle moving again.
Bullhead had to travel all the way by train. Mention that. He's afraid of flying. He travels only by train, and it takes him like 3 or 4 days to get there to go to get to Moscow. I mean, he's got a serious fucking trip.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Flying. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could find the road that takes me home.
Uh-huh.
What a freak.
Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Yeah, that little jerk. And that's what he does. He has.
Yeah.
Fire mode.
I read that about
All right. Thanks for letting me know. I'll never miss. Yo, bye. Yeah, my dad was in the military, so he knows a bit about those, the missiles and everything too himself. And he's interested in it, etc. And Pakistan Lieutenant General, whose father, he's a designated U.S. terrorist. Oh, I mean, I know. They've got a lot of OG Terrys. Bullhead is Kim Jong-un, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was obvious, but yeah, definitely, right? Let's see. But yeah, no, definitely OG Terrys. Yeah, the OG Terrys. And wow, well,
the vehicle reached a checkpoint.
At least like a lot of people don't really seem like they're getting attacked, right? Or like there's not really anybody that's died, which is good. It doesn't really seem like there's any casualties, etc. But yeah, OG Terry's crazy. Oh, you know, we like to have a little bit of fun. What can I say? But yeah, there it is. Anyway, I'm really not surprised by seeing this happen. I think it's going to probably continue, and you know, it seems like it's just ongoing at this point. It's just they're just doing more and more and more of it. So I don't know when this is going to stop, if this is going to stop. I mean, yeah, we should expect victims. Yeah, well, either way, it's good that there aren't any. I mean, you know, either, you know, Pakistani or Indian. I mean, let's be fucking honest. Most of the people that live there don't have a fucking thing to do with this. So, yeah, I mean, I'll scroll down and see if there's any more information about this in general. And to be honest, it makes China look weak if they pack with monetarily unstable Russia. Well, we'll see what happens, right? I mean, I think there's like 10 different things that are happening in general. Get ready for the calls to quickly de-escalate from the usual 0.5 suspects in India after these visuals from the den of Pakistan's military.
By the eye of Nakamoto!
I think it's an older broadcast because they're not broadcasting this current news right now. I checked it 2 times. Pakistan deployed 400 drones targeting religious and civilian sites. The drones were from Turkey. Really, is that true? Let me go ahead and pull it up and see. Let me finish this one right now, though.
I have real
Because I don't want to go too far into this because I did want to play that Expedition 33 game. But we will cover the new part of this. It's true. Yeah, no, but we'll cover this first before we go over to it, all right? So don't worry about it.
You're mine.
Turkey supports Pakistan. Oh, this happened literally 3 minutes ago. Let me try and maybe do this one because they might have a translation for it, okay?
Keep up the momentum.
Actually, let me try this one.
Of the drone debris being untaken.
Your powers are mine!
Forensic examination of the drone debris being untaken. Preliminary reports suggest them to be assist guard from the drone of Turkey.
So Turkey's giving Pakistan drones to attack civilians? Huh. Really not beating the terrorism allegations, are they? And this is the same, this is Erdogan. This is the same Erdogan that put his political opponent in jail and then removed his degree in order to make sure he couldn't run against them. That's correct? This is the same guy? Yeah, okay, right, okay. So they've got a really they've got a really good thing going on over there, right? What a bunch of pieces of shit. Jesus. See, he did that like 10 times. Well, Pakistan, they had a bunch of protests. I don't know what happened with that. I'm gonna move this up so you guys can see it.
That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way.
I reckon this is gonna hurt.
Hard to know how big that is.
Powering up.
I don't give up so easily.
You mean the Turkey protest, not Pakistan? Yeah, did I say Pakistan? I didn't mean to.
Judge, jury,
executioner!
Never miss!
With approximately 300 to 400 drones, Indian Armed Forces brought down a number of these drones using kinetic and non-kinetic means. The possible purpose of
So they have like a kinetic machine that can kind of take them down. I think I'd seen that happen before.
these large-scale area inclusions were to test the AD systems and gather evidence.
I think that actually brings up a really, like, I think she's right about that. That it actually, like, that's this same thing people in the chat were saying, is that it's not even, the goal isn't even to kill people, it's to basically test their, like, test what their capabilities are and, like, how they can counteract them.
Out of sight. Later in the night, an armed UAV of Pakistan attempted to target Bhatinda military station, which was detected and neutralized. In response to Pakistani attack, armed UAVs were launched at 4 air defense sites in Pakistan. One of the drones was able to destroy an AD guard. Pakistan also carried out artillery shelling across the line of control, using heavy caliber artillery guns and
Only 60
armed
seconds
force
left.
at
Get that vehicle
Kandahar,
moving again.
Uri, Poonch, Mender, Rajouri, Aknoor, and Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir area.
Wow.
Which resulted in some losses and injuries to Indian Army personnel. Pakistan Army also suffered major losses in Indian retaliatory fire.
They're really popping off. Yeah, they are. Wow.
Down to 30 seconds.
The crazy thing is that I bet this is going to keep getting worse. Yeah, I mean, 4 hours, but yeah, really, I mean, like, it seems that way. Things keep escalating, yeah, they do. And, like, I feel like yesterday it's worse than it was, or sorry, today it's worse than it was yesterday, and yesterday it's worse than it was the day before.
Woo!
Never miss. This is a bullshit video.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
Let me double check. That's how escalating works? Yeah, you're sure, right? How about that? Pakistan is using civilian airplanes as shields?
Powerful healing.
I don't know about that.
I'm opening a portal.
Will not de-escalate. Oh boy. This is already what we're seeing before.
This narrative war is all about perception. You cannot tell and demand defenders. Someone else will just fire right over you. So that's what India's diplomats are doing. They are defending India's story. Now let's look at the other side of the story. It's quite clear that Pakistan has no dearth of talking points. In fact, they had quite the army to send to foreign countries, like Defense Minister Khwaja Asif, Information Minister Ataullah Tarar, and former Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto. Instead of defending, they are scoring own goals. They don't offer facts.
Jesus Christ.
They come with feelings and Freudian slips. Take Defense Minister Khwaja Asif. He went on Sky News. He was asked if Pakistan backs terror groups, and this is what he had to say.
You do